Welcome back. Now, Eamon Holmes sensationally exposed the disturbing truth about Phillip Schofield's behaviour behind the scenes at ITV this week. But there are plenty of on-screen moments that also reveal the disgrace this morning presenter's true colours. One of his most infamous interviews involved ITV daytime star and former guest presenter of This Morning, Kerry Katona, who said she was left feeling suicidal after Phil grilled her for slurring her words while she was on bipolar medication. Watch.
Your speech is a bit slurred. I mean, how are you feeling
is
now?
It
is a bit.
That's why, because I'm on medication at night time.
I am merely pointing out what everybody watching. Our phone has already gone in the gallery from people up in ITV who've said, "Is she okay?"
Yes, I'm absolutely
fine. All we're doing is.
Oh, so I thought you were trying to imply that I was an alcoholic. No.
No.
Oh, right,
We wouldn't imply anything at all. All we're merely pointing out and doing is, I think, the concern of someone who's very, very different to the person we knew a few years ago. Now, if it is, as you say, oh no, you are, Kerry, big difference.
Now, following that nasty on-air clash, Kerry became Schofield's most public critic and arch nemesis, even accusing him of bullying for the way he treated her on the This Morning sofa. But the pair did patch up their personal differences, and tonight Kerry wants to speak out about her own experience of ITV Daytime's toxic culture, having appeared regularly on the channel for 2 decades, most recently as a panellist on Loose Women. So, Kerry Katona, great to speak to you. I know it's really difficult for you to watch that moment with Phillip on the sofa. It still impacts you emotionally today, doesn't it?
Massively. First of all, I just want to say I'm not here to jump on the bandwagon and pull Phillip Schofield down. We actually did kiss and make up, and when he came out as gay, I sent him a text saying, very brave, and he did reply to me. So I don't want to be a two-faced person and say, I have moved on from that. What I'm here to say is the culture at ITV and the toxicity and the aftercare is so lack of that I was left suicidal. No one reached out to me whatsoever. It was so disgusting. And I also want to talk about the likes of Caroline Flack on ITV2 on Love Island. She had an argument with her boyfriend and they asked her to step down like that. I get really angry and really annoyed, and I don't understand why Phillip was still sat on that sofa for 3 years and ITV knew about it and Caroline took her own life. That really gets to me, and that needs to be really shouted about and voiced, because I don't understand that. I don't get that. Is it because she's a woman? Is it because I'm a woman? I don't know. Is it because of the branding deal? Is it because he's making too much money? And then I think the audacity, being condescending, belittling to people with real issues on the sofa. Who are they to give him the right for an opinion and tell them what's right or wrong? I'm shaking. It's people don't understand what that interview did to me emotionally.
No, I understand that. And the problem is, Kerry, they have held themselves up as a paragon of virtue in certain circumstances, but it feels like they have real double standards when it comes to how they dealt with this Phillip Schofield inquiry. Now, I know, Kerry, you were actually a regular panellist on Loose Women at the time when this young runner was actually working at ITV Daytime, weren't you?
Yeah.
Did you know about what was going on?
Yeah, met him. I actually didn't know. There was always rumours and things like that about Phillip. But the thing is as well, I also know his wife, Steph, and I've met his 2 girls, and for me, my heart breaks for his wife. I know what it's like to be publicly humiliated by being cheated on. So my heart and, my sympathy goes out to his wife. It really, really does, and I don't want to backstab her or anything like that. But yeah, I met the young runner several times. Lovely lad. And again, where's the aftercare for him? When I did that interview, I was at rock bottom. Dan, you thought I'd murdered somebody. You'd actually thought I'd gone and murdered a kid or something like that. When I got home after that interview, it was like a crime scene. There was reporters, camera crews, paparazzi. ITV never once reached out to me and said to me, Kerry, can we help you in any way? Can you just explain to us what bipolar is and what's the medication that you're on? Nobody wanted to work with me again. I've been very fortunate and really lucky enough that I've turned my life around. I've been clean for 14 years. I've worked with amazing TV channels like BBC, E4 and Channel 4, who I felt really relaxed. Even now when I go back to ITV, which hasn't been very often because I don't fit in their category, there is a sense of snobbery and I get looked down on and that I'm not good enough, and every time I go back I tense up thinking I've got to impress them, I've got to watch my speech, I can't slur, and it's been such anxiety. And I've not worked in ITV for a long time. In fact, I had a meeting last year for a TV show, and what they asked me was, they asked me about my OnlyFans and am I still on drugs and is my mental health still properly, and I didn't end up getting the gig, which is absolutely fine. But now looking back on it, I think the audacity to do what they've done to cover up, I honestly think they all need ripping down, bringing off the pedal stool, and it all needs revamping completely. My stomach turns every time I think about Philip and the scrutiny he's going through. I don't wish this on anybody, I really, really don't, Dan. I'm not here to go, ha, calm as a bitch and it bites hard. I'm not here for that. I'm here to vocalise the aftercare, the toxicity, and the way women are treated. I can't get over no one is talking about how Caroline Flack was treated and Phillip Schofield sat on that sofa after, let's be honest, grooming a young boy. They've paid for his show reel that we've now found out about. They've paid for his taxes, and I'm a disgrace. I'm the disgrace, and Caroline's has to step down. Where's the logic in all that? I don't get it. And even now, Dan, when I look at that video, I feel so ashamed and so embarrassed and so hard done by. Even now, for 10 years, I've had to justify myself. Listen, Dan, I've shoved enough shit up my nose last a lifetime. I've drank till the cows come home. I've got no reason to lie. I'm 43 this year, and now, even today, I still have to justify myself for that interview.
It's changed your life, not in a good way, and I understand that. And obviously, Kerry, you know, we go back many, many years, and I understand how much that interview impacted you, how much the press coverage impacted you, but you have been very honest about your trials and tribulations, and you have turned your life around. For that, I appreciate. Kerry, of course, ITV and Phillip Schofield deny that anything illegal went on, and they say that when they asked about what was going on between Phillip and the runner, when they conducted this so-called investigation, they didn't find anything. Do you buy their claims today? Bullshit. I smell bullshit. I'm very sorry. The show is fake, it's phony, and it's false. And because of this morning and the way they're all liars, us as civilians and citizens and as, you know, society, we look at them too thinking this is how we're supposed to be. You know, we're supposed to be all prim and proper and life's amazing and I can cook a million food and look after a million one kids and, you know, my life's great, been married for 30 years. It's all bullshit. That isn't real life, Dan. I'm real life. Caroline Flack was real life. It's all bullshit. It's a phony show. Now, please don't get me wrong. I've worked on This Morning many, many times. I've even presented the show. You hosted it, yes.
And the crew are amazing. Yeah, Tim, the floor man, Flo in the tea room, Jane and Sherry in the makeup room. They're all amazing people. They're all so lovely, and they don't deserve anything. Eamon and Ruth, now I know for a fact, Eamon, every Friday, whatever guest was on there, would go out of his way and go in their dressing room and introduce himself. I'm the same person. I'm like that myself. Every time I was on the show, Eamon would make a beeline and make sure I felt comfortable. Philip and Holly have never done that, ever. I remember being on the sofa, actually, with Holly, and I think she was after some kind of a headline, wanting me to slip up, and I've always felt inferior. And I think, why am I inferior to these people? You know, just because I'm from a council estate, I've worked bloody hard to get where I've got to. I really have. I've turned my life around.
Well, and isn't ITV meant to be the channel of the working people?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, that ITV was meant to be the channel of the working
bollocks.
people.
No.
Holly Willoughby says that she's going back, Kerry. She says she's going to be back on the show on Monday and she's going to carry on without Phillip. Do you think that's possible?
No. I think that's stupid. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, if I was Holly, right, and if I was in her situation and I found out that Philip had having the affair, he lied to me, ITV was going tits up, if I was Holly, I'd go, and if she was telling the truth and she really didn't know anything about it, I'd go, I'm done, I'm off. You can deal with this yourselves. I'm going, I'm putting a real statement out there, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. That's what I'd do.
And so what does ITV do now, Kerry? Do they need a whole new management team? Does there need to be a clear out at ITV Daytime? I mean, some people are even saying this morning needs to be axed.
Yeah, I really do. I don't think, for a long time, I've not been able to watch ITV. It makes me cringe. I think they're full of shit. I think they're hypocritical. I think they're condescending. And I don't wish anybody any harm. I hope they all get themselves sorted. I wish them nothing but love, joy and peace. I really, really generally do. But this morning, for me personally, it triggers me anyway. This triggers me. Do you know, this has triggered me massively. And I've worked really hard to turn my life around. I think the whole thing needs to go. It all needs revamping. The gods above, who are the little puppet masters, they need the strings cut in. They need to bugger off and they need to get, you know, new people in. That's what needs to happen. And not just saying that as well, you know, it's like the likes of Alison and Holly, like Eamon said, this relationship between, I've got nothing against Alison whatsoever. I think she's absolutely lovely. I've been to hers for a barbecue, lovely girl. But I know, and watching it, we know, Dan, in this industry, it's bullshit.
As in it's a fake relationship?
It's all fake and false. Why do I want to sit at home? Yeah, I don't want to sit at home watching TV thinking, this is shite. They're lying to me. We turn on TV because we want to watch stuff that we're relatable. We want realness. We want to go, oh yeah, I relate to that. Yeah, I get that. Oh, I understand that. I don't understand any of this. I don't, I really don't. I'd ask the whole thing and bring something back. You don't get this on Cesspat Lunch or, you know, anything. You don't get anything like this. It's all been brilliant over there. This is, it needs to go down. It really does. And I don't want anyone to be out of a job. The crew, they're all so lovely.
No, I understand. Kerry Katona, look, very powerful. You're very passionate. I know it's still tough for you, and I know it was difficult seeing that. I hope you understand that in the context of this interview, I think it was important to remind folk of what Philip put you through that day.
Yeah.
Kerry Katona.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, Dan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kerry. Now, look, in a statement today, ITV's Chief Executive Carolyn McCall said, I want to reassure you that as a producer and broadcaster, ITV takes its responsibilities around duty of care and speaking up seriously and has robust and well-established processes in place which allow anyone who works with us to raise concerns they may have anonymously.